Welcome back to the deep dive.
Oh, yeah.
You guys asked for it, and we are delivering a deep dive into the life, crimes, and victims of one of America's most notorious serial killers.
Okay.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, this is a fascinating one because it wasn't just about the sheer brutality of the crimes.
Right.
It was also about his ability to blend in, appear charming.
Like a mask almost, right.
And normal to those around him. And this unsettling duality is what continues to intrigue us even decades later.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to unpack today.
Okay.
We've gathered a range of sources for this deep dive.
Okay.
From firsthand accounts of survivors, Kathy Kleiner and Karen Chandler, to insights from law enforcement officials like former Leon County Sheriff Ken Katsaris.
Okay.
We even have some of Bundy's own words, which offer a chilling glimpse into his psyche.
So by piecing together these different perspectives, we aim to understand not just what Bundy did, but how he managed to evade capture for so long and what lessons we can learn from his case.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bundy's childhood is a bit of a puzzle.
Okay.
With conflicting accounts and unanswered questions. Some sources, like his Aunt Julia Cowell's account of finding him surrounded by knives as a child, suggest early signs of a disturbing fascination with violence.
This raises the age-old question of nature versus nurture. Was Bundy predisposed to violence?
Right.
Or did something in his environment shape him into the monster he became?
Right.
Unfortunately, there's rarely a simple answer when it comes to serial killers.
Yeah.
Their development is often a complex interplay of genetic predispositions, childhood experiences, and societal influences.
Exactly. And Bundy's case is further complicated by the fact that he discovered his true parentage later in life.
Oh, really?
Some sources believe this revelation had a profound psychological impact on him.
That's certainly a possibility.
Right.
And it's interesting to note that Bundy himself gave conflicting accounts of his childhood with different biographers.
Yeah.
This manipulation of his personal narrative, even at that early stage, hints at the calculated nature that would define his criminal career.
Yeah, it's unsettling to think about those early signs, knowing what he would eventually become.
Yeah.
His first documented attack in 1974 targeted a young woman named Karen Sparks. It was a brutal assault that left her with permanent disabilities.
This first attack is a crucial point.
Yeah.
In understanding Bundy's development as a serial offender.
Okay.
It demonstrates the escalating nature of violence, often observed in such cases. It's as if this initial act served as a testing ground for him.
Interesting.
A way to experiment with his dark desires and see how far he could push the boundaries.
And tragically, this was just the beginning.
Right.
As Bundy's crimes continued, a disturbing modus operandi emerged.
Oh, okay.
He often preyed on women's kindness and trust using disguises. Feigned injuries, or impersonating authority figures to lure them into vulnerable situations.
So this calculated manipulation is where Bundy's seemingly normal outward appearance became his most dangerous weapon. He exploited societal expectations, particularly the trust that women are often conditioned to place in seemingly respectable men, especially those in positions of authority.
We see this reflected in the stolen ID cards from female FSU students found in his car after his arrest.
Oh, wow.
These weren't just random items.
Right.
They were tools he used to project a false sense of security.
Oh, okay.
Further enabling his deception.
It's a chilling reminder that appearances can be deceiving and that those who appear the most trustworthy can sometimes harbor the darkest intentions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it makes you question how many times he used these tactics before his first recorded attack.
Right.
This calculated approach is even more evident in the chilling events of January 15, 1978.
Oh, okay.
At the FSU Chi Omega sorority house.
The Chi Omega sorority house murders were a turning point in Bundy's criminal career.
Right.
They marked a significant escalation in the level of violence and demonstrated a level of meticulous planning that set these crimes apart from his earlier attacks.
It was a night of unimaginable terror.
Yeah.
Imagine this. It's the dead of night.
Okay.
A faulty backdoor lock provides easy access.
Yeah, okay.
And suddenly, a man wielding a piece of oak firewood is upon you.
Oh my gosh.
The sheer randomness and brutality of the attacks are truly horrifying.
And to think the entire rampage was interrupted by something as simple as car headlights.
Wow.
Shining into the room.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how many more lives might have been lost that night had those headlights not appeared.
It's a chilling thought.
Yeah, it is.
The sources paint a vivid picture of the chaos and terror that unfolded in those few short minutes.
Right.
But amidst the horror, there are also incredible stories of survival. Kathy Kleiner, Karen Chandler, and Cheryl Thomas.
Right.
Their accounts of that night are not just harrowing, but also testaments to the resilience of the human spirit.
Their stories are crucial to understanding the full impact of Bundy's crimes. It's not just about the number of victims, it's about the lives forever altered, the scars both visible and invisible that remained long after the headlines faded.
They each coped with the trauma in their own way, finding strength and courage in the face of unimaginable pain.
Right.
Kathy confronted her fear head-on by working at a lumberyard surrounded by men.
Wow.
Cheryl, despite suffering permanent hearing loss from the attack,
Oh, gosh.
refused to let it define her,
Okay.
continuing to pursue her passion for dance.
And Karen made the conscious decision to move forward without letting the experience consume her.
Right.
She chose not to dwell on Bundy, refusing to let him have any more power over her life. Their courage is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit.
Their stories are truly inspiring.
They really are.
But we can't forget those who weren't as fortunate.
Right.
Those whose lives were tragically cut short that night.
Right.
Lisa Levy and Margaret Bowman.
Oh, my gosh.
And just weeks after the sorority house attacks, Bundy claimed another victim.
Wow.
12-year-old Kimberly Leach.
The abduction and murder of Kimberly Leach marked a disturbing shift in Bundy's victim profile. This wasn't simply about targeting young women anymore.
Right.
It revealed a predator whose depravity had no bounds.
Yeah.
It was a stark reminder of the danger he posed to everyone, regardless of age.
It's a heartbreaking case that underscores the devastating reach of his crimes.
It is.
But thankfully, shortly after Kimberly Leach's disappearance, Bundy's reign of terror finally came to an end. He was apprehended in Pensacola, Florida, when a police officer noticed he was driving a stolen car.
This seemingly routine traffic stop
would prove to be a pivotal moment in Bundy's saga. It was the beginning of the end for his reign of terror and the start of a complex legal battle that would captivate the nation.
And what's even more chilling is what Bundy said to the arresting officer, "I wish you had killed me."
This statement offers a glimpse into the complex and disturbed mind of a serial killer. It's impossible to know whether it was a genuine expression of self-loathing or a calculated attempt to manipulate the situation. But it certainly underscores the darkness that resided within him.
It's a haunting statement that lingers long after you hear it.
It is.
And the evidence found in his car further solidified the image of a calculated predator, stolen IDs, credit cards, a television. These weren't the possessions of a petty thief. They were the tools of a man who had carefully crafted a life of deception. His arrest was just the beginning of a long and complicated legal process, one that would bring Bundy's crimes into the national spotlight and force America to confront the reality of a monster hiding in plain sight. Bundy's trials were unlike anything America had seen before. They were among the first to be televised nationally, and the media frenzy surrounding them was unprecedented.
It was a spectacle, wasn't it?
Oh, it was.
And Bundy, with his charisma and intelligence, seemed to thrive in the spotlight.
He did.
He even insisted on acting as his own attorney.
Oh, wow.
For parts of the trial.
That's right. Bundy was a narcissist who relished the attention. And he wasn't afraid to use his intelligence and legal knowledge, which he gained while studying law in prison, to try to manipulate the proceedings.
He wanted to control the narrative. To present himself as a victim of circumstance. But the evidence against him, especially in the Chi Omega case, it was overwhelming.
Exactly. And this is where the field of forensic odontology, the study of teeth, played a crucial role. Forensic odontologists were able to match bite marks found on Lisa Levy's body to Bundy's teeth.
This was groundbreaking.
He was.
It was one of the first times bite mark evidence was used so definitively in a high-profile case.
Absolutely. Bundy's trial became a landmark case, solidifying the use of bite mark analysis as a legitimate forensic tool in criminal investigations.
The physical evidence was damning.
It was.
But equally powerful were the testimonies of the survivors.
Right.
Kathy Kleiner, Karen Chandler, and Cheryl Thomas bravely took the stand, recounting their horrifying experiences.
Their courage in facing their attacker, in reliving that traumatic night in front of a national audience, is truly remarkable.
It is.
Their testimonies gave a human face to the crimes, reminding everyone that these weren't just abstract legal proceedings, but events that had real devastating consequences for the victims.
Their voices were crucial in cutting through Bundy's carefully crafted facade.
Absolutely.
And revealing him for the monster he truly was.
Yeah.
And then there was Nita Neri.
Okay.
The Chi Omega sorority sister who saw Bundy leaving the house that night.
Yes. Her eyewitness testimony placed Bundy at the crime scene.
Right.
Further strengthening the prosecution's case.
Yeah.
It was a crucial piece of the puzzle.
In the end, despite Bundy's attempts to control the narrative, the jury found him guilty.
Wow.
He was convicted of the Bowman and Levy murders, 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 2 counts of burglary.
He was sentenced to death, but even after receiving the sentence, Bundy continued to deny any involvement in the crimes.
It's amazing how he clung to that facade of innocence.
Yeah.
But then while awaiting trial for the murder of Kimberly Leach, he did something truly bizarre.
You're talking about his marriage to Carol Ann Boone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right there in the courtroom during the penalty phase of his trial for Kimberly Leach's murder.
It seems almost unbelievable, but it's true.
I know.
And to make it even more surreal, she had testified on his behalf.
Oh, wow.
During his earlier trials, firmly believing in his innocence.
It's a testament to his manipulative abilities. He managed to convince her, and perhaps even himself, of a reality that was completely at odds with the evidence.
Some might say it was a last-ditch effort to gain public sympathy. But who knows what truly motivated him? It certainly added another layer of strangeness to an already bizarre case.
Indeed. But ultimately, even that dramatic act couldn't save him.
Right.
Bundy was sentenced to death for Kimberly Leach's murder. His 3rd death sentence.
And as his execution date approached, he finally started to crack. He began confessing to numerous murders, revealing chilling details about his crimes.
These death row confessions are a common phenomenon with serial killers. Some experts believe it's a genuine attempt to unburden themselves before death, to make some sort of amends for their actions.
But others see it as a final act of manipulation. A way to control the narrative even in death. What do you think?
It's difficult to say for certain. Perhaps there was a sliver of genuine regret, but it's hard to separate that from his desire for attention and notoriety.
Regardless of his motivations, those confessions did provide some closure for the families of his victims.
Yes, and they helped law enforcement officials solve numerous cold cases that had haunted them for years, bringing a sense of justice to the victims and their loved ones.
So even in death, Bundy continued to impact the lives of others.
He did.
Though not in the way he probably intended.
It's a strange and unsettling legacy. But it's important to remember that his story isn't just about him.
It's also about the victims, their families, and the lasting impact of his crimes.
That's where I think we need to shift our focus now. Let's talk about those who were most affected by Bundy's actions. It's hard to grasp the magnitude of the pain and suffering Bundy inflicted on so many lives. But amidst the tragedy, there are also stories of incredible strength and resilience.
That's right. The survivors of Bundy's attacks, especially those from the Chi Omega sorority house, their courage is truly inspiring. They refuse to let him define them, choosing instead to reclaim their lives and find ways to heal.
Kathy Kleiner's decision to work at a lumber yard surrounded by men after the attack speaks volumes about her determination to confront her fear head on.
It's an act of defiance. A refusal to let the trauma dictate her life. And Cheryl Thomas, despite suffering permanent hearing loss, continued to pursue her passion for dance.
It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most daunting obstacles.
And then there's Karen Chandler,
Right.
who made the conscious decision to move forward
Yeah.
without dwelling on the past.
She refused to let Bundy's actions control her life any further.
Yeah.
These women and countless other survivors embody the power of resilience.
Right.
They remind us that even in the darkest of times, hope and healing are possible.
Their stories are an essential part of understanding the true cost of Bundy's crimes.
Absolutely. Their voices deserve to be heard, their stories honored.
And in a way, their resilience also helped to shape Bundy's legacy.
You're right. Bundy's case had a profound impact, not just on the lives of his victims, but also on the criminal justice system itself. His crimes, particularly the Chi Omega murders, highlighted the need for more advanced forensic techniques. The successful use of bite mark evidence in his trial solidified its place as a legitimate tool in criminal investigations, leading to advancements in the field of forensic odontology.
It's almost ironic that a man who sowed so much chaos also inadvertently contributed to the advancement of justice.
Indeed. And it wasn't just forensic science that was impacted. Bundy's case and the courage of his survivors in speaking out also brought much-needed attention to the issue of victim advocacy. Their willingness to share their stories, their strength in confronting their attacker, helped to shift the public's focus from the sensationalism surrounding Bundy to the very real and lasting trauma experienced by his victims.
It was a turning point in the way victims of violent crime were treated within the legal system.
Exactly. The impact of those brave women who spoke out can't be overstated. They helped to pave the way for a more empathetic and supportive approach to victim advocacy, ensuring that their rights and needs were acknowledged and addressed.
So Bundy's legacy is complex and multifaceted.
It is.
He left behind a trail of pain and suffering. But his crimes also inadvertently led to positive changes.
It did.
In the way we investigate and prosecute violent crimes and in the way we support victims.
And perhaps one of the most enduring lessons we can take away from this deep dive is the importance of vigilance. Bundy's ability to blend in, to appear charming and harmless, is a chilling reminder that evil can often wear a mask of normalcy.
It's a disturbing thought.
It is.
But it's a reality we need to be aware of.
Absolutely.
We can't rely on appearances alone to judge someone's character.
We can't.
We need to trust our instincts, be aware of our surroundings, and advocate for our own safety and the safety of others.
And we need to remember the victims. Not just their names, but their stories, their strength, and resilience.
They are the true legacy of this tragic chapter in American history.
Right.
Their courage in the face of unimaginable horror should inspire us all to work towards a world where such atrocities are less likely to occur.
It should.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the dark world of Ted Bundy. It's a story that continues to fascinate and horrify. Reminding us of the complexities of human nature and the enduring power of the human spirit.
If you are interested in exploring this topic further, there are many resources available. Books, documentaries, interviews, and online archives. As you delve deeper, keep in mind what we've discussed today. The patterns of manipulation, the impact on the victims, the ripple effects on society, and the advancements in criminal justice that emerged from this dark chapter. Remember, knowledge is power. The more we understand about the darkness that exists in the world, the better equipped we are to confront it, to protect ourselves and others, and to create a safer and more just society for all.